Hi, it's Bren. We're doing an episode of Things by Bren with another author. This is Meera Klein, and she has a trilogy out. I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's been writing since she was a kid. She's been reading. She's an avid reader. I wanted to put her life into writing so we can enjoy her books and her novels. And she just finished up the trilogy. She said that this series was not meant to be a trilogy. It just kind of worked out like that. So, Meera, tell us about you, a little bit about your background and why you started writing.
Okay. I started writing because there's nothing else I can do. I'm not good at anything else except maybe cooking. And so that's why my books are all books with recipes because I love cooking.
Okay.
So I've combined both of those interests, writing and cooking. A zillion years ago, I got a degree in journalism and I was a reporter for a long time. And then when I had kids, decided to stay home. And one of the things I was working on was this the best American novel.
Right.
It took a long time to do, with kids and soccer and baseball and all those things. Life gets in the way. And I wasn't disciplined enough to sit down and write. And now the kids are out of the house. And so finally got down to writing it. Of course, writing the book is just the first part of it. The second part is trying to sell it and market it and find a publisher. And so I went through a long time. I finished the book in 2009, and it took me 3 years to find a publisher. And Homebound Publications finally accepted my manuscript, and it was published in 2014. And My Mother's Kitchen was the first novel, and it was a tribute to my mother who had passed away a few years before that. My mother and I were very close. After my father died, my sister, my mother, and I, we were just a little unit together. And my mother loved cooking, and she was a great cook, and I learned a lot from her. And as a tribute to her, at the end of each chapter in My Mother's Kitchen, the first novel, I added a recipe that I remembered eating or cooking or making with my mom.
What a
And
fun
the book
idea.
was yeah, and it was a big favorite among book clubs because it gave them something to do. Each member, in fact, I went to, when the first year the book came out, I went to about 25 book clubs in the area, and I had a lot of Mother's lemon rice, different variations, and so it was fun to do. And then that book, I thought that was the end of it. This character, her name was Meena. And the reason her name is so close to mine is Meera, first name. Hers is Meena with an N, is because when I first wrote that first chapter, I did it as an autobiographical, it was part of a writing prompt for a group that I was working with. And then when everybody in the group really liked it, I said, oh, okay, if I was going to make this into a novel, I didn't want to write about myself. And so I changed the name, not too much, to make it to Meena. And so, in fact, the other day we got some mail and it had Meena on it. So people are getting confused. So that was the first book. And then I had given up on, writing anymore on this particular character about a girl growing up in her mother's kitchen and finding out just how life works. You see all the characters she meets and all the things that happen in the house on this hilltop fictional town in South India. And the second book came about when she kind of grew up, and it's called The Seeing Ceremony, and it's partly based on my own life. When I was 18, my whole family decided to marry me off, and they had what we call a seeing ceremony, where I got all dressed up, dolled up, and the groom-to-be and his family were to come and see me, which is a seeing ceremony. And if they liked what they saw, we would go on to the next step, which is arranging the marriage. My seeing ceremony didn't work out. And so luckily for me, the groom never showed up, and I couldn't marry someone I thought who I never had met. I mean, at least let me see his, face to face, never mind knowing him or his interests or anything like that. And they just refused to accept that. And it was very, very painful for me to live in India. And I was just about to give up when I received a letter from my maternal uncle who lived in the Bay Area. And I had told him about how miserable my life was because everybody wanted me to accept this guy and marry him. And I was just saying, no, I have to see him in person. And for some reason, he didn't want to come and see me in person. And so my uncle said, he sent me a letter, and in it was a visa application and a plane ticket. And that's how I ended up in the United States.
You guys notice she does not have an accent. She speaks very good English. We talked about that a little bit before the show, and she says she's been here for 35 years. So
I've been married for 35 years. So yeah, I was 5 years prior to that.
oh, okay.
But one of the things my mother told me and relatives, just don't come back with a white boy.
Oh
And,
no.
and of course, that's what I did. He's
Well,
blonde and
love is
blue-eyed.
all that matters. Love is all that matters. And
And
she's
so
got
he came
boys.
back with me to India and we got married in India and we were going to live in India, but it was really hard to find a job that we, felt comfortable with. And so we ended up coming back to the United States. But, we've been married for now 35 years. And I like to say, way before Priyanka Chopra Jonas was we were a mixed marriage couple long before it was popular.
Before it was popular, right?
Or
Before it was
accepted.
accepted, right? That's probably the right word. Absolutely. So then now you've written the third book in the series. What's it called?
Well, I don't know because I have only a tentative title. So the second book too, I did it as a November novel. I find that discipline because I think being a reporter, I like deadlines. If someone told me you need to write a book by day after tomorrow, I'd probably stay up all night and do it. But if I have my own thing, I'm lazy and lackadaisical about it. So what I did is I like the November novel. So about 2 years ago, I did the November novel, and the idea for the second book was in that. And then it took a whole year and a half to edit it, and I had other people read it, and then my publisher was kind enough to accept it. Now that I just did the same thing this last November when we were all stuck indoors. I had the idea for this novel, and it's the same family, and it's one more character from the family. And she lives in a village and she becomes their doctor. So I don't have a title yet, but I've finished most of it. I'm now going back and editing it. And then I'm going to send it out to be professionally edited before I send it off to my publisher, maybe for next year.
That's wonderful. And you guys heard that writing books takes time. Not only does the writing of the novel take time, the editing, the whole process, the formatting, the printing, the marketing, the sales, and let's just hope you have sales. I'm telling you, being an author is a hard job. So for you guys out there, go buy her books. Check her out. Do you have a website?
I do, MeeraKlein.com. And the books are available on Amazon and, Barnes and Noble, anywhere books are sold. And it's not very expensive because it's, it's independently published. So they make it sure that people are able to afford the book, and it makes a great book club read. It has enough information and it's in another culture. You learn about a lot of books and recipes that are written are usually of North India. Well, this is the very deep South India, and there's recipes there that you don't normally find when you go to an Indian restaurant. So if you think you don't like curry, try these. There's no curry.
No curry. Yes, I'm not a curry fan, but I do like Indian food.
Yeah, this has no curry, and we don't even have that word. When we say curry, it means stew. It's not a spice blend for us for the people of Kerala. And we do use coconut. So if you don't like coconut, then it's kind of tough to eat Kerala food. But we have a lot of, we use a lot of rice and coconut and lots of vegetables. So we're very vegetable forward cuisine.
Lemon rice sounds wonderful.
It is wonderful. And I have not found a child who won't eat that rice because it's tangy, it's yellow for one thing, and it's got little bits of cashew, and it has ghee, which is clarified butter, which has a really nutty, wonderful flavor. So I've not found, and then now we've gone the next step where instead of just having it plain rice, which is what is in the mother's kitchen, in recent years, you add green beans or, chopped spinach or kale or zucchini, and to make it even healthier. And even more like a one meal, one pot dish. So it's very versatile cooking, and it's all within. My mom didn't have patience for hours of cooking, hours of prep. So everything is in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, easy prep.
So don't be intimidated. A fiction story, you're getting to hear about other cultures, you're getting recipes, you're getting to see a touch of what Meera's life was like growing up and after she grew up. About
definitely
engagement or whatever it is that what'd you call that again?
Seeing ceremony. So the first book is called My Mother's Kitchen, and the second book is called Seeing Ceremony. And recently, Seeing Ceremony was named Grand Prize winner in fiction by the Next Generation Indie Book Awards, and it came with a plaque. You can see it back here.
Yes, Congratulations.
It's clear. So if I take it from there, you won't be able to see it.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
here are the covers of, this is my mother's kitchen.
Nice.
And here is Seeing Ceremony. So both have won numerous awards in indie excellence and in the latest in Next Generation Indie Book Award. And in that, I actually had to make a speech, and it was a cash award. So it was a big deal.
That's wonderful. That's great news to hear. And hopefully this third one will win awards too. And then maybe the whole
Hope
series
so.
will win an award as a series. So, well, tell me again where they can find you.
You can find if you want more information about myself, it's Meera Klein, which is my name, meeraklein.com.
And that's
The books are available on
MEERA.
Amazon. Yeah, the books are available on Amazon and through my publisher, where you'll get a better deal, as homebound, one word, publications.com. And you
Okay.
just go on there and you search for Meera Klein, or by title, My Mother's Kitchen. And she has a deal where you can get both books for, a nice price. And if you're a book club and you want to order more than 5 or 6 or 10 copies, she has a good deal for that too. So
Okay.
check out Homebound Publications.
No, that sounds wonderful. Thank you guys for watching. Go check out Meera. Go check out her books, and kind of see what's out there with other cultures and these nice recipes. There's always room for change. There's always room for growth. Thank you, Meera, so much for doing the interview.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda, for having me.
You bet.